Hey everybody, my name's Sarah.
I'm Leia.
I'm Cassie.
And we are colleagues at New Beginnings Clubhouse. So we're going to sit here, chit chat for a little bit. Cassie, what'd you do on the 4th?
So I basically more or less stayed in the house. I made some brats and I cooked some burgers just on my stove. I kind of had some issues more towards when the fireworks started getting bad. I have a special set of headphones that I wear to kind of muffle the sound. But besides that, that's pretty much all I did.
What about you, Leia?
I had a great 4th of July. Really, we had family dinner together and then we lit fireworks. Lighting the fireworks was a little uneasy for me because I'm always afraid they're going to tip over or go somewhere they're not supposed to. But none of that happened. And we all practiced safety throughout the night and we had a great time.
I was in the parade. The parade, so our clubhouse was in the parade. I know Leia did quite a bit of work on parade decorations. Cassie, I know you were out for a little bit. I had to drive the car. And we turned the car into a float, and I learned that being in a parade is a lot of hurry up and wait, which means you spend a lot of time standing around. I was fortunate in the sense that I was driving. A couple of different colleagues were walking, but after that was done and everybody got home, I went home and I slept. That was how I spent my 4th. Yeah, wasn't 4th isn't really like one of my favorite holidays. I would say that one of my favorite holidays has to be like New Year's Eve though, because that's where like my friends and we just kind of like get together and we will sit and we'll play like Dungeons and Dragons, or we'll bust out a like very complicated board game to sit and play. And we just sit and vibe and chill out and have a good time. What about you ladies? What are your ladies' favorite holidays?
So for me, it would be Halloween, because it's pretty much the only time of year where I can get away with watching tons of horror movies and not getting judged for it. Also because I love the candy. I love the candy selection that comes out. I love candy corn and little mellow cream pumpkins and little fun-sized candy bars. I don't know, something about that just makes Halloween just perfect.
I kind of have to agree. Halloween's up there for me as well, because what other time do I get to be the delightful, chaotic gremlin that I am and actually like have it be embraced? I get to pretend to be somebody different, dress up funny, and it's good vibes. What about you, Leia?
Honestly, I like Thanksgiving because it's about being thankful for each other, so that really feels like it gives me a moment to shine. I get to express my feelings about my family members, and we make a lot of food and we have a good time spending dinner together.
That's cool. Yeah, Thanksgiving, I spend a lot of my Thanksgivings pretty much here. So, I tend to work on Thanksgiving. I'll work on Christmas. Christmas and Thanksgiving and the 4th of July are big struggle days for me. The 4th of July is a sensory nightmare for me. And then I spent years working in retail, and I spent about 9 months working in food service. And those things right there were enough to ruin Thanksgiving and Christmas time for me completely. Completely turned me into an absolute Scrooge. I want no part of Thursday of November up through December 31st. Like I'm checked out.
Yeah.
Absolutely checked out. What about you, Cassie? What would you say is one of your harder holidays?
For me, definitely, it would be a cross between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm one of those people that the seasons themselves can put me. I get like seasonal depression, so I tend to isolate a lot. But last year I did a lot better with my Thanksgiving. I actually made a whole Thanksgiving dinner. Lasted me the entire week because it was just me eating it, but
Go girl.
came out really, and I made it on Thanksgiving. I literally woke up at like 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day, and by noon I had a whole Thanksgiving dinner made. So that was interesting. I enjoyed it. It was good for me.
That's fantastic. You did better than I did. I hate cooking. What about you, Leia? What would you say is your worst holiday?
I would say it's gotta be it's the most. It's not the most loved, but it is the most stressful for me, and that would be Christmas. Because there's so much planning involved, and I don't know, just like the winter season, I get the winter blues.
Yeah, it's bad enough like when you have like holidays in general. It doesn't really matter. Like I guess depending on how big the holiday is, because like here in the States, and I know our colleagues in other countries are going to have, some different holidays, and maybe things are done a little bit differently in other places. But here in the States, it seems to be like the worst holidays for a lot of people are Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's usually like a combination of family dynamics and, like you said, planning. And then one of the things that gets me every single year is the logistics of, okay, whose family am I going to be going to? Am I going to be staying up here with my family, who I see all the time? Am I going to be going down to my husband's family, who we see a few times a year? And that in and of itself creates a lot of stress and everything. So it's really easy for people to, especially if you're somebody that's dealing with like seasonal affective disorder or something like that, all of a sudden you're already struggling, and now you've got more things that are piled on, and you're struggling even more.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you guys do, or you ladies do, with when the struggle starts to get a little too real and it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do?
So I know for me, I have been trying to implement things in advance, make plans in advance for how I'm going to get through this holiday season coming up. So, I have a plan to get a Christmas tree, just like to have the lights in my apartment. I have a couple of friends that I've already been like, look, you're gonna need to save money for these lights because I'm gonna need you guys to stay at least a couple of days for Thanksgiving, and then the same for Christmas. I plan on baking some cookies, some holiday desserts, brownies, fudge, stuff like that, and hopefully being able to bring some into the clubhouse, give some to my neighbors, just because for me, ever since I can remember, it's always been a spirit of helping others is how I find my joy. So.
What about you, Leia?
I think the two things that make it the least stressful would have to be like making things, crafting. I like to crochet and knit and get Christmas ornaments together. Maybe go to the dollar store and grab some ornaments there to spruce up the house a bit. And the other thing is participating. And I'd say that would be like offering suggestions for gifts for other people, or a birthday, or whatever that gift may be. I like to eat foods that remind me of the holiday, like gingerbread, hot chocolate, or for 4th of July popsicles, stuff like that. I just have to take it slow, day by day, and really just let myself settle on the heart of the season.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle of where you and Cassie are at because I will do some crafting. I will find myself I'm terrible with crafting because I will start a hobby and in typical ADHD fashion, I do learn how to do it and then I'm on to the next thing. So it ends up being this never ending cycle of me going to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and my husband ready to rip his hair out. So I'll do that. I'll spend some time vibing and just listening to music that I find quite cathartic. I'll spend time chilling with my family, my husband, his family if I've got time to go down and see them. Most of the time though, I try to stay busy at Clubhouse. The nice thing is I can work on Thanksgiving and I can work on the 4th of July and I can work on Christmas and actually be of service to other people, and that kind of helps me to stay grounded, and then I'm less upset by the fact that the holiday is going on, and it doesn't give me the opportunity to really ruminate on things the way that I normally would. Like I'm at that point I'm so busy that it doesn't have time to register, if that makes sense.
It does.
So yeah, Clubhouse, and I think Cassie might be able to speak a little bit more on this because I know Leia's a little bit newer. How has Clubhouse helped with holidays and stuff for you, Cassie?
I mean, to be able to get out of the apartment when it's a holiday and I don't want to just be stuck by myself, it does help to be able to come here to have that socialization, even if it's just for a couple hours. You play games, you eat, you conversate, you laugh, you smile, and even for those few hours it takes your mind off of just how down you were feeling about the holiday in general. Now granted, I don't spend every holiday with Clubhouse. I probably really should, but I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
I will say that this last Easter, as an example, my birthday happened to fall on Easter Sunday, and I came here and I did an Easter egg hunt and ended up getting a bunch of cool stuff and some candy, and I really enjoyed myself.
Yeah, the Easter egg hunts around here are legendary. Mike, Angel, and I hid a bunch of eggs. I think there was like 118 of them, and maybe 99 got found.
I know I found the one that was up in the fan.
Yeah, they ended up all over the place. I guarantee in February we'll start finding more eggs randomly. It always happens, it never fails. Staying involved and just and even the lead up to the holiday itself, especially for the 4th of July, for example. We were so busy with trying to make decorations for the float and the parade itself that there was less time for me to worry about the sensory nightmare that is the 4th of July. So I'm in full blown, we've got to make different stuff, and let's make paper flowers, and how are we going to decorate these 2 cars, and bringing that touch of chaos that I bring to the table, and just focusing really in. So even the lead up, because I know at times at least for, me, the lead up to a holiday can be just as stressful as the holiday itself. So having something else to like focus on and have it feel like it's meaningful has been, really helpful. And I think that kind of touches on some of what Leia was talking about too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we really were busy for the 4th of July making so many decorations.
Yeah. It was a lot. And it's the same thing with like, between Thanksgiving and Christmas too, because during that time we're doing all this stuff to decorate the clubhouse. So we're trying to decorate the clubhouse. We're trying to plan, what are we doing on Christmas Day? Are we getting catering? Are we, making something here? Are we, if we're making something here, what's that menu gonna look like? Who's gonna make the food? Aside from Sarah, is anybody else gonna, are there gonna be other staff members that are gonna be present? And who are those staff members? And so we're figuring all those logistics out as well, and having your mind on something else a lot of times is, at least for me, is one of those things that's just kind of like, I have a finite amount of energy and no place else to put it. So
yeah, and I haven't seen any of the holidays yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
Yeah. So, holidays just in general can be, it's a mixed bag, just like everything. Like there's good and bad in everything, and
Just don't be surprised if you guys see me come in with a big foil tin one day closer to the holidays and it's like full of cookies and crap, and I'm just like, I don't want the calories, so you guys are gonna get the calories.
Oh, girly pop, we will take it. We will absolutely take it. You know how people are around here.
Yeah.
Well, those cookies will be gone. They'll be gone in a heartbeat. So do you guys have any other like tips or tricks that you want to kind of like share?
Well, I mean, for me, it doesn't always work, but I have found that having something in my hands tends to like help keep me distracted. So it's why I usually have like some kind of like squishy like cube or something, just because when I start feeling triggered or stressed, it can help the sensation, the sensory. There's just something about it that helps to soothe. I mean, it might not work for everyone, but I know definitely for me. And also, my skincare, obviously you guys know that self-care is instrumental for me to help me just to find some purpose. So.
And I know I said I like to make things for when I'm stressed out about the holidays, but I know everybody doesn't necessarily have like something they know they can go to make. So it can be like recipes or creating a music playlist that makes you feel comfortable. Or it can be like picking up a bracelet kit and making yourself bracelet and necklaces. It can be anything to help ease the stressors.
I do want to kind of touch on what Cassie was saying a couple of minutes ago, because I think that's something that we all kind of missed too, was the importance of self-care. So like for Cassie, part of her self-care routine is, making sure that she's do 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 do.
I like this one.
So anyway,
Fraggle Rock. That was Fraggle Rock.
Fraggle Rock is the best.
Going back to what I was saying, Cassie's skincare is part of her self-care routine, and self-care in and of itself is, vital for us all. Like if we're not taking care of ourselves, our mental health and our physical health are going to be in the toilet. So just kind of keeping up with self-care is really important.
Yeah, I feel like the most thing that I hear people say around the holidays is they're stressed out and they're not drinking enough water,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and like with what Cassie said, I do skincare too, and that is Oh my gosh, it helps so much.
Yeah.
I actually planned on going to Dollar Tree in a little bit. I want to find one, hopefully they have one of the little dollar jade rollers for your face.
Yeah.
Because you actually can find a lot of top-notch beauty products at Dollar Tree. Some things I just can't use from there. Like, there are exfoliators, I've tried to use them on my face and neck and just not good.
Ripped skin off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you start looking like, I've done that kind of stuff before too.
You start looking like, my precious.
You start looking like Gollum. I don't know. My big skincare thing. I am the type of person that's just like, for the most part, I'm gonna do what I need to do. I got tired of trying to shave my legs and my armpits, so I picked up some Nair. And it was for gentle, so work on your armpits. And it came with this scraper tool. I ended up having Gollum armpits because I had scraped skin. So I had these huge scrapes underneath my armpits for like a week. Because the scraper tool had like sharp edges to it and everything, so it's like self-care that went the wrong way. I'm like, all I wanted to do was be silky smooth.
And it's like now I have these chemical burns.
Yeah, now I've got these. Well, it wasn't even chemical burns. Like
Right.
it was the scraping tool, and I'm like, I should have just like used toilet paper. And now it's like, okay, when it's time to do this again, I am definitely using the toilet paper, not using the scraping tool. That thing's evil. But yeah, one of the things I did for self-care for the 4th, and I'm actually wearing one right now, is there are cooling patches that you can put on, and they're like, there's some kind of like gel, I don't know, there's like a whole thing with it, but you can buy them, they're called like Be Cool, and I am, I'm in my hot girl era, and by hot girl era I mean I'm having the hot flashes. So I bought a bunch of these things and I was like taping them to my head. I don't care how ridiculous I look. I don't want to sweat. I'm dying. I'm trying to drive a car and keep people alive and not run over people and not pass out. So yeah, that was one of those things where I had to, as part of my self-care, make sure not only that I was staying hydrated, but also finding a way to try to effectively cool my body down. So yeah, self-care is incredibly important, and I think it's something that oftentimes we get so overwhelmed or so focused on, just the season or the holiday itself and everything leading up to it, that it's oftentimes really easy for us to forget it. And I'm really glad that Cassie mentioned something about it.
Well, actually, I have alarms that I have on my phone set to keep me on a routine. My alarm started at 5:45 in the morning, but 5:50 is my morning skincare alarm. 7:45 is my evening skincare alarm. And when those go off, I know that's my time to do my thing. Now, I will say that past few days it hasn't been the easiest. Sometimes all I can do is just wash my face, put on a serum and moisturizer and be done. But it's still, I'm sticking with that routine because,
It's important.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes all we have the spoons for is putting pants on and showing up. And I've said that multiple times. And if that's all you can do that day, that's all you can do that day. And there's nothing wrong with it.
I heard that analogy. Someone actually told me that they're like, if you start out the day with 10 spoons, and how many spoons it takes, you might end up being down to 1 spoon by the end of the day, but you still.
And sometimes you run into the spoon deficit too. And the spoon deficit's always a monster. So yeah.
Just gotta try your best. Sometimes it's just 1 second at a time.
Yep. And that's all any of us can do.
Yeah.
Well, You guys have any other thoughts on anything else that you would suggest?
Maybe what are some good and bad feelings that we go through during the holidays?
Yeah.
I would say for me, when I have bad feelings, I will feel very depressed, very down, not wanting to do anything but just lay in the bed. And it becomes a struggle the closer it gets to, like, as soon as Halloween is past, and it seems like as soon as November 1st hits, like, I'm instantly just in that state. Unfortunately for me, when I have those bad feelings, I also have those bad thoughts. So it's essential for me to keep myself occupied, but it's not always that easy. Like, especially if it's a seasonal day and you wake up, and let's just say there was a bad snowstorm the night before, so the sky is all gloomy and cloudy and gray and there's no sun, and it's just tons of snow and ice. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that probably would be the day where I get up, go to the kitchen, grab a cinnamon roll, grab an iced coffee, get back in my bed and just turn on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that's just the day. And I mean, then sometimes I can have good days where I'll wake up and I'll be like, oh my God, it looks like a fairy tale out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want to go out and you want to play in the snow and
Mm-hmm.
all for 5 seconds, then you realize how cold it is in the Midwest. But you go out there and you're like, frick, it's cold.
Yeah.
I can't. But
It's like, why do I live someplace where my face hurts?
yeah,
Yeah.
that does happen to me. But I mean, for me, it's a roller coaster, and it's weird because there's a song I actually love to listen to, and it's called Conqueror, and the first part of the song literally says, "Life's like a merry-go-round. First you're up and then you're down." Like it's an up and down. It's like, you know how the merry-go-round, the horses go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, and they spin around, and that often is how the holiday season is for me. It's a merry-go-round. First I'm up, then I'm down, then I'm up, then I'm down. And then sometimes the horse just gets stuck down.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going around in that circle, but it never goes back up. And I hate when that... I actually was thinking of looking into getting a lamp to kind of help with the light. They say there's these lamps that are supposed to help if you get really bad seasonal depression, and you can get them off Amazon. So I've been looking into it, and I have neighbors in my building who will do like welfare checks on me if they don't see me for like 2 days. They'll be like, hey, are you okay? Just want to check on you. And that helps.
Yeah.
Having that support helps. And I mean, it's really just a merry-go-round of emotions for me. At the present time, I'd say I'm probably mid with that carousel. It's one of the main reasons why I reached out to the clubhouse today, to get out of my apartment, to get out of that space, because I knew that my clubhouse family would be there for me. So that's almost dropped my needle.
I mean, for me, like I said, I will just bury myself in work. And get stressed out over work, because work is something that I have a certain amount of control over. Like, I can dictate, what projects I'm going to be working on, and stress out about something that's actually productive, rather than stress out about, a couple of days out of the year. I'm going to stress regardless, and I know that about myself. Like, it does not matter. There's going to be something that I'm going to stress out about. That's just the nature of who I am as a person. So I try to make sure that I am putting that energy towards, just whatever I can do that's going to be productive. And And then, you know, kind of focus on like the, you know, what that outcome's gonna look like, and kind of like think about it, and then think about, you know, how excited people are, like with the 4th of July parade, for instance. When everything was said and done, the members that, you know, were able to be a part of the 4th of July parade had a decent time, and, you know, they were, you know, proud of the work that had went into, you know, decorating the vehicle and everything. And then, you know, at Christmas time, you know, you've got people that are happy to be there. They're happy to have some place to go. They're happy to be around their clubhouse family and everything. So while it seems counterintuitive, at least for, you know, me, that stress all leads up to a positive outcome that at the end of it all, I'm proud to have been a part of. What about you, Leia?
I just have to remember to value my family, because I'm always the first one to go head first into the excitement about the holidays. And that's right around the time where I hit sensory overload. And like what Cassie said, I have these up and down emotions that go from sadness to excitement, whether that be from having a bad day, family members that you have lost, you know, or even angry that it's not turning out the way that you want it to be. But you just have to remember to not let it overrun you.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and that can be the hardest part too, is just like try to make sure that you're not letting it overrun you. You know, making sure that you're like staying grounded in the moment. And sometimes like the easiest way to ground yourself in the moment is to like throw your hands up in the air and be like, I gotta walk away from this.
Yes.
And I mean, you saw that going on firsthand.
Yes.
Leia's first week or two, I think this is your 3rd week.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so Leia's first 2 weeks, Leia watched me and was working with me on, you know, the 4th of July parade stuff, and here she is watching me just at different points of time being like, I gotta walk away from this. I have to walk away from it. So
It was understandable. It was a lot of work.
yeah, it was a lot of work in a very short amount of time, but
Yeah.
we did it. So yeah, it's important. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Holidays, they're gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest takeaways, at least that I got, were take care of yourself. Find things that, you know, bring you joy. When you have an issue, reach out to somebody. And, you know, remember, Clubhouse is around. We're here to help.
Yeah.
So, on that note, I'm Sarah.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Leia.
We are New Beginnings Clubhouse, and we will see you next time.